Alright guys, so we have got a bit of an update for Squadron 42 and for the PU. Obviously we'll do the PU first, then we'll do Squadron 42. There have been a few things that changed, a few things that have been upgraded, and at the end of the day there have been a few things that have been pushed back. So let's just jump straight into it because I need to get to bed. Thank you very much COG for your update times, but let's jump into it. So 3.5, first thing we'll do, we'll go through characters. For example, Mission Givia, Taktia Pachipo, I'm getting that name wrong. She was 29 out of 33. 29 out of 46. She is now 33 out of 46. So she has gone up slightly by about 8.7%. She is now at 71.7% complete. DNA face customization, which is obviously the next one. It was 80 out of 120. It is now 99 out of 132. It has gone up, but obviously the goals, the end mark has also moved as well. It has improved by 14.4% as a weekly change. It is now 75%. The second thing is female playable characters was 81 out of 102. It is now 84 out of 102, so that is obviously increased as well. That has now gone up 2.9% and is now at 82.4%. So kind of cool. Locations. ArcCorp Planet was 30 out of 37. It is now 32 out of 37. So that obviously has gone up by about 5.4%. It is now at 86.5%. ArcCorp Moon Lyria, which is the next one. It was 12 out of 14. It is now 12 out of 15. So it has actually gone through and actually expanded on the end goal, so to speak. It has improved. They have stretched it out a little bit and put in an extra thing. So it's slightly, the progress is still at 80%. But yeah. ArcCorp Mining Weller is 5 out of 6, or was, sorry, 5 out of 6. It is now 5 out of 7. So that has obviously gone through and that has improved, has been stretched a little bit as well. So that is at 71.4% as now. And Area Landing Zone 18 was 359 out of 436. Out of 512, sorry. It is now 436 out of 565. So it has improved. They have added a whopping 77 tasks completed, but they have also expanded on the actual end goal as well. So they have stretched that out a little bit, but that is at 77.2% complete. AI, FBI Collision Avoidance, version 2 is 1 out of was 1 out of 3. It is now 2 out of 3. So that has obviously gone through and that has improved. Basic gunship behavior. It was 1 out of 2. It's still 1 out of 2. So that is obviously stayed the same. Flight model AI or flight model update was 12 out of 12, 100% complete. It's still 12 out of 12. It's 100% complete. And ship AI combat behavior movements was 2 out of 3. It is now 2 out of 4. Sorry, it is now 3 out of 4. So that has completed an extra task. So, system heat is was 3 out of 11. It is now 3 out of 13. So it has expanded and added 2 tasks to that. AI bounty hunting and environmental missions is still 0 out of 3. So that has not improved or changed any, which is a little bit concerning. But should be still okay. Vehicle scanning HUD improvements. It was 16 out of 31. It is now 17 out of 30. So they've actually dropped the task and they've added one to the completed list. So that's kind of good for that. AI distress beacons was 4 out of 5. Still 4 out of 5. That's sitting at 80% complete. Vehicle radar was 0 out of 0. It is actually completed now. So yeah, 100% complete. Quantum travel improvements was 4 out of 14. It is still 4 out of 14. So there's been no change on that. Vehicle scanning improvements. That was 4 out of 17. It's still sitting at 4 out of 17, so there's no change on that. But still sitting at 82.4% complete. Now, ship systems degradation and improvements. That was 2 out of 3. It is now 2 out of 4. So they have actually added one to the task list on that. Vehicle tech updates. It was 14 out of 22, still sitting at 14 out of 22, which is 63.6% complete. Group systems. So group systems was 1 out of 2, still sitting at 1 out of 2, which is at 50%. VoIP and VoIP was 14 out of 30. It is now sitting at 18 out of 27. So it has gone up a few, and it's also dropped a few off the list of needed. So that is obviously good news. It's gone from 51.9% up to 66.7%, mainly because they've completed some and they've dropped some, so that's obviously good for that. Distortion and damage improvements was 6 out of 7. It is now 7 out of 7. So that is, complete, 100%. Gimbal weapons and improvements was 3 out of 3. Still is 3 out of 3, which is 100%. And ArcCorp delivery missions extended was 1 out of 4. Still at 1 out of 4, which is at 25%. Now, for ships. Okay, so we've had a little bit of movement here, which we've already known about, but we'll talk about. The Anvil Hornet F7M Heatseeker, that has been added and that has been completed. Because obviously you could buy it, so yeah, that's been done. So that's 100% complete on that. The Origin 300i rework. Now that was 44 out of 79. It's now 47 out of 79, so that has slightly improved. Apart from that, obviously the 315p rework is the same. 325A rework is the same. The 350R rework is the same. All 2 out of 10. So there's been no movement on any of those. The Banyu Defendant, has been moved to 3.6, obviously. We'll talk about that in a sec. The Misc Reliant Tana, it was 3 out of 10. It's now sitting on 5 out of 10, so that has had 2 completed. The Misc Reliant Sen was 27 out of 34. It is now 29 out of 34. The Misc Reliant the Misc Reliant Maliko was 3 out of 10. It's now sitting at 4 out of 10. So that is obviously one thing that's been checked off and completed on the list as well. Now, obviously, for weapon items, so we'll go down to this. So weapon items for the Banyu single tachyon cannon was 6 out of 25. It's still the same. The Gemini S71 was 19 out of 29. It is now 20 out of 29. So that is obviously, that's had one list, or one of its things has been completed. The Galactic Tank Tactical System GT870, it was 8 out of 23, which is still the same as it is now. And the Kuskuk Arms Coda, it was 16 out of 26. It's now 18 out of 26, so that's slightly improved. Now, for Cortec, so the first one is the Acincular Disconnection Reflector, which I still have no idea what it exactly does. It's 12 out of 33, which is the same as it was. The Network OCS Stall Fixes was 1 out of 10, which is the same, hasn't changed. New flight model was 126 out of 144, that is the same, hasn't changed. Projectile Manager was 12 out of 17. It's now 15 out of 17. So that has gone up or completed by 3 tasks. Hard Surface Shader Improvements was 3 out of 4, which is still the same. And Performance Optimization was 3 out of 3, 100%, which it has also done as well. Stays the same at 100%. Now, obviously for 3.4, the Bennu Defendant has obviously been added. So that is obviously there. Apart from that, the only other real major difference is the Rest Stop Space Station Exterior Vandrance. That is in the locations here. It was 1 out of 18. It is now 4 out of 18. So that has done 3 tasks. So yeah. Apart from that, in 3.7, there has not been any updating progress, or 3.8, there has not been any change or update as well. Alright, so let's jump over to Squadron 42. Because there's been a couple of changes and a couple of updates on this. So characters was 4 out of 11, stays the same, 4 out of 11. So there's been no weekly change on that. Gunner is 6 out of 11, which stays the same. The DNA face customization was 29 out of 33. It's now 30 out of 34. So that has completed 1 and added 1 task. So the AI spline pass, that is still 1 out of 6. That has not changed. And the FBI collision avoidance is 1 out of, or was 1 out of 3. It's now 2 out of 3. So that has obviously been done, or one of those has been checked off. So gameplay FBI Stealth version 2. That is still that has improved actually. It was 0 out of 0 out of 7. It is now 3 out of 7. So that is a slight improvement, which is obviously a good start. Distortion damage item improvements. That itself was 0 out of 0. It was just listed as schedule. It's now done 1 out of 1. So that is 100% complete. System heat is now 3 out of 11. Was 3 out of 11. It's now 3 out of 13. So it has grown by 2 tasks. Vehicle HUD version 2 was 6 out of 13. It's now 6 out of 11. So 2 tasks have fallen off that. Vehicle radar is complete, where it was 2 out of 2, which is obviously still completed. So obviously there's no change on that because it's completed. The new flight model is was 122 out of 144. It stayed the same, so no major change on that. Vehicle scanning was 5 out of 6, which is the same, no change on that. Play characterables version 2 was 35 out of 60. It is now 38 out of 60, so that's had 3 tasks completed. Player free look has stayed the same at 5 out of 12. Player jump version 2 has improved by 3 tasks, was 6 out of 27, is now 9 out of 27. Okay, so let's jump down to Cortec. Organic shader has stayed the same at 9 out of 11. Water physics is stayed the same at 100%. Hard surface volume 2 is 100% as well. Ragdoll improvements is obviously 100% as well. It stays the same. Projectile manager is still 5 out of 10. No change on that. Particle lighting version 3 is still at 100%. So there's no change on that. However, we have lost 2 of those systems. Now, so Weapons Effect Volume 2 was moved from 3.5 to 3.6. And also in 3.7 we have added atmospheric effect. That was from 3.5 as well. So two tasks have, or two tasks, not tasks, but two modules have moved out of 3.5. One has gone into 3.6, one has gone into 3.7. Apart from that, guys, obviously with the weapons, that would be the last thing for this 3.6, 3.5. Just, yeah, quarter one anyway. The missile launcher is 18 out of 37, no change. Pyro multi-tool is still at 15 out of 32, no change for that. Obviously, apart from anything that we've added or that we've already talked about, for example, with the weapon effects, volume 2, nothing else has changed in quarter 2 of Squadron. And apart from what we've already talked about in quarter 3, nothing else has changed. Actually, yes, sorry, that has. FBI combat types, weapon types, that has actually gone from 5 out of 10, 5 out of 18 to 10 out of 18. So that is improved by 5. And also, we also got the atmospheric effect volume 2 that was added as well. But yeah, apart from that, nothing else has changed. Quarter 4 is nothing has changed. And then obviously quarter 1 for the alpha, nothing changed. Quarter 2 beta, nothing changed. Okay, so that's basically where it is all at. Look, obviously if you want total statistics, for 3.5 for the PTU, they are currently sitting at, I don't have a table with my complete, they are currently sitting at, sorry, I've got to scroll up. Yep, 3.5 is currently sitting at 71.5% complete. It was 63.2, so they have made a bit of an improvement on that. Has been an improvement by about 8.3%. And on Squadron 42 for a table, for the total quarter 1, it is previously was at 62.5. It's now sitting at 65.18. So that has obviously changed by 2.68%. And that's for quarter 1 for Squadron. So it has been a little bit of an improvement. Obviously the major improvement was under the PU. But there's also made some room obviously for Squadron 2. But yeah, they're generally keeping to their schedule. The only things that there's only been a few things that have been pushed back. Bennu Defender obviously is the major one. Atmospheric was obviously pushed back, like I said, in Squadron. And also it was the other thing as well that was pushed back. Weapon effects, volume 2. So apart from that, yeah. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on them keeping to their schedule? Do you think that they are this new conservative roadmap? They're keeping up with it. What are your thoughts on anything that hasn't been done or what has been done? What are your thoughts on the first quarter for Squadron or 3.5 for the PU? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in my next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.